45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 340. Today is December the 2nd, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing this morning, kid?
Yo, we doing good, you know. It was a little rainy yesterday, but I just hope we have a good weekend. Championship weekend. Another great football Sunday, Dill. Let's go at
it. Yeah. Shining, beautiful day to watch ball and some fights. But yeah, we got a great episode. Night football conference champ to Oregon. They'll probably clinch their way into the college playoff. We got great games. SEC championship, Georgia, Alabama. You got Iowa, Michigan, Oklahoma State, Texas. We'll get on to all that. We'll continue NFL Week 13, and we'll end the show on the hardwood with some NBA and college plays. But Elvis, let's start with the game we saw on Thursday night. What a game. I thought you were right, man. Seattle played really well. They covered the 9.5. They should have won outright, I thought. They kind of blew it in the fourth quarter. They allowed the Cowboys 14 points in that fourth quarter. But first game we saw, no punts. Flags kind of got out of hand, I thought. I thought the game went too long. The flags just kept coming and coming. But other than that, we'll start with Cowboys side. I mean, 29 for 41, Dak Prescott, almost 300 yards, 299, 3 tutties, no interceptions. They were able to run the ball collectively. You know, Tony Pollard had a pretty good game. CD had a couple nice runs. You even had the boy Rico Dwell. He had a couple nice runs as well. CD, he went back to having another 100-yard receiving game. Jake Ferguson had a nice touchdown late in the game. But, man, this team, they're contenders, man. They're legit, this Dallas Cowboy team.
Dill, to be honest, you know I said the +9 to cash still, but to be honest, I didn't expect this outcome. You know, I didn't expect the game to be a shootout, Seattle to look as good. To be honest, this might have been the best version of Seattle we saw all year, Dill, and it just sucks that they took an L at it. You know, Geno Smith looked great, but Dill, like you said, with the Cowboys, Dill, this offense is just on another level these past few weeks, Dill. We gotta start recognizing, and like you said, Dill, right now this Cowboys team is a championship contender. You know, Dak Prescott, like you said, basically 300 yards, 3 tutties. What's the key number, Dill? No interception. This man, I think he's at 26-6 still. Last year, this man was over already double digits with playing half amount of games. So the fact that Dak Prescott is able to just flip the switch and just in a year's time and just slow down the turnovers, though, it speaks volumes. Like you said, they had a great day running the ball as a team. You know, Tony Pollard basically 70 yards. CD had a couple runs. Dak even, you know, he showed people get to the weight room. He still got the legs now. That leg is finally fully healed. Can honestly say that leg is at 100%. You see him with the design runs now as well, though. He's more confident with his legs. Even Mike McCarthy believes in Dak. So I like the fact that Dak is also being more involved in the running game these last few weeks still. It shows me they're confident in that leg that's fully recovered. And Dak showing you when that sideline run, I'm still that dude. I'm a big boy. You're not about to just tackle me if you're a DB. So, yeah, just flat out great performance by the Dallas. Too many flags for my liking, but still, when the defense, I understand Seattle put up 35 points, but when the defense needed to stop, they got them 3 straight possessions. Fourth down. Seahawks couldn't convert. Me and you both agreed they should have pinned them down at the goal line with the punt when they went for around 4th and 2 at the 50. Yeah. I would have punted it down, but they'll give Dallas Cowboys defense credit because when they needed to, they got the stops.
Yeah, I think, you know, we always like to make a joke about Cowboys. You know, they're a regular season team. They're always pretty good, but when it comes down to the playoffs, they kind of choke.
Divisional and out.
I think they are legit this year. My one issue is what you just touched on, defense. I mean, look like the 134 yards. That one slant that he did, he caught 22 miles an hour. He was out. They weren't catching him, and he kind of made what's the guy's name? Deron Bland kind of exposed him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So
he had 130 yards at half. Think about it, though. He gave up 130 yards at half. I think that's the most by any DB in the league. You know, DK Metcalf was burning that boy.
Gino played good. I thought this was the best offensive performance from the Seahawks that I've seen this year. It's a shame that they lost, but they kind of went stale in the second half, only scoring 2 times. In a shootout like this, I don't think they're built to win shootouts like this, especially against a team like the Cowboys. But are you worried about the Cowboys defense when they're going to play better teams?
To be honest, would I be a little bit? Yes, just because we saw, Philadelphia, 30 plus points, Seattle 30 plus points. The 49ers felt like they could put up 100 points. So when you see these, above average team, putting up these numbers on you, Dills, yes, it's a little concerning, but I still think the defense can make enough plays. Like we saw, Deron Bland get torched in the first half, second half, Dill, what he does, get an interception. So I just feel like, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence in the front end, DeMar Bland, Stephon Gilmore in the secondary, they still got enough pieces and talent to, make the plays when they need to make the plays still. But 35 points at home on a short week, it is a little concerning. That's not a championship defensive performance. That's all.
And now, are we worried about Seattle now? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They've lost 3 in a row. Their next 2 games, they might lose 5 in a row. They're playing the 49ers on the road, and then they come home to play the Eagles. They got tough games. Then they're on the road against Tennessee. That's a winnable game. Then they're home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's going to be a tough game. And then they finish the season on the road in Arizona. So they got a tough game. They're sitting at 6-6 right now. Yeah, they're second in the NFC West, but the Rams just beat them, and I feel like the Rams could sneak right up in there. But what are they dead, the Seahawks team?
I want to say dead, Dill, but like you said, they got a brutal 3-game stretch coming up. You got Minnesota right there biting at the heels at 6-6. And to be honest, I think it's going to be tough. If Seattle could win, I highly doubt they win a game either against Philadelphia or 49ers. But if they're able to sneak one of those games, they'll make the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. It's just right now, let me check the standings, Dill. You got Minnesota, right, at 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Seattle at 6-6. You got Green Bay 5-6, and then Rams at 5-6. Out of those 4, which one is on? And the Saints. You got to at least throw the Saints in there, Dill. I don't think they make a push. Maybe they win the division, but between the Rams, Green Bay, Minnesota, who do you trust the most? And Seattle, because one of those 4 teams are gonna make it, Dill. If I had to choose right now, I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Just because I think, Dobbs, it might have a little easier schedule moving forward. But if you tell me Seattle's able to sneak one out against the 49ers or the Eagles, I think they sneak in.
I definitely don't trust the Saints. Rams are an interesting team, I would say.
Yeah, they're live. They're live.
Yeah, I would say they're interesting. Green Bay, don't sleep on them. They're going under the radar as well. I think Jordan Love has been playing better.
Last 2 weeks, Jordan Love has been at a high level.
I don't trust Seattle right now. In Minnesota, I guess, gun to my head, I guess I would choose them, and then my wild card would be the Rams, maybe sneaking their way in. But
I'm bugging. 2 of those 4 teams are going to make the playoffs, though.
Yes,
because Minnesota's at 6. I thought Minnesota was at 7. Whoa.
Yeah, so 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're at 6. So Minnesota, I think, gets in. I do worry about Josh Dobbs regressing a little bit, but that last spot, man,
it's between Seattle, Green Bay, and the Rams. Out of the 3. I'm going to go with Seattle and the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams just because I trust Matthew Stafford a little.
What's the ticket? What's the ticket at now?
I got to
I'm going to guess plus 220 to make the playoffs. That's my guess.
To make the playoffs. Who was it again? You said Green Bay.
Green Bay, Seattle, and the Rams. We don't trust New Orleans. We're both awful New
Yeah.
Orleans. Yeah.
Seattle to make the playoffs plus 142. Yes. No. Minus 176. Green Bay. Yes. Plus 106. No. Minus
Oh, they
132.
got
And
better
then
odds than Seattle. That's the record now.
that's what I'm telling you. And then the Rams to make the playoffs plus 210. No. Minus 265.
Oh, I was close. There, I was close.
Yeah, they got the Packers maybe sneaking in. I don't know. We got to see their schedule, but yeah, I think it'd be very interesting to see who gets into the 6 and 7 spot. We got 4 weeks left into the season, so we'll be on the lookout. But as for the Dallas on the other side, they've won 4 in a row. They got a tough schedule coming up these next 4 weeks. They revisit the Eagles, playing them at home, so maybe this time's a little bit different. Then they go on the road at Orchard Park to play the Bills, who's fighting for a playoff spot. Then they're on the road back-to-back weeks against the Dolphins, who they're trying for that number 1 seed. And then they come back home to play the Lions. So tough 4-game stretch, and then they finish on the road in Maryland to play the Redskins. So I don't know. I think this could be
I say they go 12-5.
Yeah, 12-5. Yeah, I think they beat the Lions. I think they beat the Redskins, and I think they barely beat the Bills. And then I
say they beat the Eagles. They beat the Dolphins. They lose to the Bills. They lose to 40 Lions.
How was your record, Toe, for the game? I went 2-0. Dak went over his passing yards, and the team total went over again.
We swept the board, dude. I also went 2-0. DK
Let's
Metcalf went over first possession.
And
again. The plus 9. Yo, dude, not for now. I've been cashing all these overs in the first play they get. Yeah, so that's been great, But yeah, 2 back-to-back Thursday night games got hit. And then the plus 9 lock of the day, and then the DK Metcalf over. We should have, no bullshit. We should have sprinkled anytime touchdown for everybody.
Yeah, I that's what I was saying. I thought it was going to be a shootout, and
I thought it was going to be a ground and pound, slow game, 20-17. Nope. I did not expect Seattle to score that many points on that defense. Not at all.
Well, glad we swept the board. We're going into week 13 hot. We're continuing the streak. Let's get into it. Before we do that, let me tell you guys a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted number 1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Saturday afternoon watching college football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's go. Let's start in college. The game started last night. I went 1-1. I took New Mexico plus 10.5. They winded up losing by 13-14, so we didn't cover there. But Washington plus 9.5. Like I said, they win outright. They are your Pac-12 champions. Last year of the Pac-12 kind of upsetting, if I'm being honest. I thought this year for the Pac-12 was really special. They had a lot of good teams. And shout out Michael Penix. He pulled the genome. They said, everyone wrote us off, but we ain't right back. You gotta love it. But yeah, let's get into it. Like I said, we got some really good games. Miami, Ohio at Toledo, the Big 12 championship, Texas versus Oklahoma. Even got Boise State and ULV. Obviously, I think what we're all going to be locked in 4:00. Georgia, Alabama. It's going to be amazing. But Elvis, I'll let you start it off, kid. What do you got for championship weekend?
Let's start right there. Georgia taking on the Alabama. Bama.
Hey, if Bama wins, they might sneak in.
Bama, 5.5-point dogs. Neutral site. Give me Alabama plus 5.5, and then Give me the upset of the year. Give me Alabama plus 180 on the money line, dude. I'm telling you, Georgia's due for a loss. I felt like they haven't lost in 3 years, Dill. It's been a long time. Dill, it's been a long time since we've seen this Georgia team lose, Dill. And what's today? December 2nd, 2013. It's been since COVID. This team hasn't lost, Dill. It happens today. Give me Alabama. SEC champion.
I'm going to start in the Pac-12. Give me Oklahoma State plus 15. I've been fading this Texas team. And people say, oh, it really hasn't worked. How'd it work last week with Texas Tech? Yeah, they lost by 50. I don't really care. But other weeks they have been covering. 15 is just a little too much for my liking. I think Mike Gundy and the mullet, he's going to have the boys playing. I think it's going to be a much closer game than anybody anticipates. We saw last night, Oregon 10-point favorites, neutral site. They lose outright. Not saying Oklahoma's going to lose outright. That would be amazing if they did. But give me the Cowboys plus 15. Too many points. And to be honest, I'm not a Texas fan at all. I'll continue it. I'm going to go to the SEC championship. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with Georgia. Like you mentioned, this team hasn't lost in like 3 years. Their best player is a tight end. Going to go top 10 in the draft, Brock Boyles. But, this Georgia team is just fantastic. And Alabama has gotten better. Jalen Milroe, he's gotten better every week. He does scare me with his athleticism, his able to move in the pocket, extend the play. But what's Kirby Smart known for? That defense. And he's going to have fits. Alabama's.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is one thing is this guy last week said, give me that Heisman. He wins this game. He might get the Heisman.
He's not winning the Heisman. And
I know he's not.
And he's not winning this game. Georgia Bulldogs are going through for history. They're going for a 3-peat.
Dill. He wins this game. Just remember.
If Georgia loses this game, are they still in?
They have to be. Realistically, all jokes aside, people, no. Just because the committee's dumb like that. But yes, they should be.
But they should, because I've heard arguments that even Oregon should make the playoff.
Ohio State should make the playoffs.
There's still an opportunity Ohio State gets in.
But you're not going to get in unless Georgia's going to win. If Georgia wins.
We need Michigan to lose too. But
they're not losing. To Iowa, cuz. Come on.
We'll never know. Give me the Bulldogs, though. Minus 5.5. I think they win by a touchdown. They're going for history. They're going for a 3-peat. I hope we see it, too.
I'm telling you, 3 years in the making. The time has come.
What else you got?
Dill, this is another game I'm gonna probably have my eyes glued to, Dill, because I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to be a great game. Oh, the line dropped a little bit as well. Dill. Louisville taking on FSU. Dill, this Florida State team has been impressive me all year. Championships on Saturday. Dill, I gotta back them. Give me Florida State minus 118 on the money line. Dill, this team, to be honest, has been surprising me all year. I'm surprised they're undefeated, and to be honest, I think they take care of Louisville. Dill.
All right, my next game, I'm gonna go to the Big Ten matchup and give me Iowa plus 23.5, just because. Fuck the team up north. Too many points. I think Iowa's defense is good enough to not stop but contain the offense.
To lose by 20. That's all.
Yeah, just lose by 20 and hope. Shit, if you
that's
win
all you
outright,
gotta say, Dill. That's all you gotta say.
I hope
to
they
lose
win
by
outright.
20. That's all.
I just think look at the total. We were talking it off air. The total is sitting at 35.5. I see 35.5. I mean. You just do the math. I mean, I'm not a math major or anything, but you take that. They should cover this game with a low total, all those points, 2 great defenses. I think it's going to be a very slow and nip and tuck game. And I think Iowa's just going to lay a lot on the line. I know they don't really pass the ball, but I think they're in like fuck it mode. We got nothing to lose here. We're in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Backs against the wall. Give me Iowa plus 23.5. And then my last play, I'm fading you. Give me Louisville plus 2.5. I take them on the money line now. Money has come in on them.
Yeah, money is coming in.
There's a chance that Florida State's backup might not play. I think that's the reason a lot of people are getting away from Florida State. Louisville, bad loss last week, but I think this is a good bounce back spot for them. I've been riding with Louisville all year. If Jordan Davis was playing and he didn't get hurt, or Jordan Travis, excuse me, the quarterback for Florida State, they probably win this game. I probably hedge out, but Louisville, man, I think this is their year, man. Plus 2.5. If you want to take them straight up on the money line, I like that as well. Give me the Cardinals, man. Shout out Lamar. Give me Louisville. And by the way, E, don't forget next week, the game of the year, Army Navy. Can't wait. So any other plays? We do have other conferences going on. Appalachian State, Troy, Tulane, SMU. That should be a good game.
I like Tulane, though, to be honest. To be honest, people, I'm not going to lay the 3, and I'm not going to advise you to lay the minus 150 on the money line. But if you want a good game to watch, I anticipate this game being a good matchup, and I do like Tulane.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I didn't want to lay the 3, and if it was 2.5, maybe. Yeah. I want to get.
If it was minus 135 money, or even minus 140, I would have laid it. But minus 150, people, I ain't gonna tell you.
I just think SMU has the offensive power to hold up with Tulane, so it does worry me. Mm-hmm. Boise State, UNLV. I was leaning Boise State because just fuck UNLV. By the way,
UNLV do to you?
They just snuck in. They snuck into this game on a technicality on a head-to-head that they lost to one of the other teams, so they don't really even deserve to be in this game, in my opinion. I think Boise State's gonna. That's why they're favorite. I think Boise State's gonna fuck them up, to be honest.
I hope they do.
And they're playing at Allegiant Stadium. Well, what's with all these dome games? Like the only outside game is the Louisville, Florida game, and it's supposed to be rain in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's the whole point, though. That's the whole point. You want a nice, good, clean game for viewers' sake. High scoring. What's the best way to possibly do that? Dome games. That's what. Come on now.
I just miss old football where they played outside and the weather affected it.
Dill, but what month are we in, Dill? It's December.
Exactly.
It's nasty.
We don't want to see domes. I hate dome football.
I hear you, Dill, but you rather see a game 42-38 than 13-10. Let's be real. Let's just be real, Dill.
I don't know about that.
College-wise, come on.
College maybe, but I don't know.
NFL, I enjoy a 10-13 game. College, I want to see 58-40, 48. Something.
I sound so old being like I hate domes and I want them to win 7-10.
Act your age, bro. Let's get all these dome games. Let's get the turf out, real grass. Come on now.
Elvis, let's transition to week 13 in the NFL. We both started 2-0, so only up from here. We will start in New England. The Patriots are hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers laying 5.5. I don't care if it's against Carolina. They shouldn't be laying 5.5 against anyone. Plus 198 for the home dogs. Over under is at 40. Elvis, this is your team. I will let you lead it off, kid. What do you got?
First of all, people, my sign is on the floor. If anybody's been wondering where the Patriot sign is at, it's right there. I'm not gonna get it, but in spirit, is in the room still, people. Dill, I gotta stop thinking with my heart and just go with my head, Dill. So my official play for this game will be the under 41. I think right now it's at 40.5. I still like it, even if it's at 40 even, though. To be honest, I don't see the Chargers offensively, going to town on us, especially in New England, And I can even tell you who's our starting quarterback, so I don't see us putting up 10 points. And if you tell me they're going to lay 30 on us, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to say we lose 21-9. 9. 3 field goals. I don't think we get in. So it's just sorry I'm not enthusiastic people. It's just
tough season.
I never went through this in my life. So yeah,
it only gets better. Like I said, look, tankathon.com will be your best friend. It's been my best friend for a while. I do like the under. I think that is the right side, side or the right way to play this. I'm going to take Juju Smith-Schuster under 14.5 longest reception. Going back to the longest reception prop, he's been under this in 34 of his last 38 games. He's only averaging around 5.5 yards per attempt. So I don't even know who's going to start quarterback, to be honest.
I have no idea.
He's only caught 2 catches this season. over 14.5 receiving yards. So it's high. It's minus 120. It's a little chalky, but I think it's worth the squeeze. I'm going to fade Juju Smith-Schuster and take under 14.5 longest reception. Let's go to Pittsburgh. Better game here. Pittsburgh hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers laying 6.5 at home, plus 6.5 for the Cardinals, plus 225 as an underdog. Over under is at 41.5. We like to back to Mike Tomlin as a dog. Now he's laying 6.5 at home. It scares me. What do you got?
Still, give me the Arizona Cardinals on the road plus 6.5. Don't get me wrong. Do I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are the better overall team? Yes. It's just, I understand that they fired Matt Canada. They had over 400 yards, of offense last week. Still, I just feel like, with the quarterback, let's just be real. With the quarterback, I just feel like it's going to be hard to duplicate that. I understand the Arizona defense is nothing to be, to be worried about, though. I just don't see Kenny Pickett and his offense, just, marching up down the field. So I think Arizona going to put up some points on the board. Not a lot. I think they lose 14-20. Cover the 6.5.
Yeah, so I'm going another player prop here. Give me Jaylen Warren over 11.5 rush attempts.
Steelers, I like that. I got him on my team, Dill. I need that. That.
Steelers' new offensive coordinator, Eddie Faulkner. He was the Steelers running back coach. He came out after the game and he said he wants Warren to have more carries. He had 13 last week, even though Najee Harris has been getting a lot of the load. He had 15 last week. I just think we see a lot of ground and pound coming in this game from both teams, especially from the Steelers. Arizona is awful against the run. They're allowing the most running back attempts, 27 per game, the second most yards, and they're 29th in DVOA versus the run. So I don't think this sets up well for them. I think the Steelers are going to ground and pound this game. The weather is going to be bad as well in Pittsburgh, so I don't even think they're going to be asking Kenny Pickett to throw the ball much. I think it's going to be a Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren type game. So going to go over 11.5 rush attempts for Jaylen Warren. Let's go out to Houston. I think probably one of the best games in this 1 o'clock slate. Texans hosting the Denver Broncos. Texans laying 3.5 at home, minus 164 on the money line, plus 138 for the Broncos. Over under is at 47.5. Can the Texans bounce back?
Still, I do think the Texans bounce back. I'm gonna be honest, it was tough to pick a side in this one just because Denver's been rolling. Their defense was playing at a high level. Russ did put up 27 points last week. I highly doubt he does it again. CJ Stroud and that Texas team, they'll been overachieving all year. I do think they're the right side. I think Denver's due for a loss still at the end of the day. I don't expect Denver to win 5 straight any time this season at all. But the fact that they're back in the hunt, like you say, I can't laugh with everything. In the hunt, still, I think Houston is just a little better team right now. With that being said, I stood away from the side deal, but give me the under 47.5 deal. I don't see Denver putting up a lot of points on this defense, and vice versa. I see CJ Stroud, still continue what he's doing, Dill, but I don't see him putting up, 24 plus points on this defense either. I think it'll be a nip and tuck game, a close one, and I think CJ Stroud probably, maybe Fairbairn hits the game-winning field goal this time and don't hit the upright. Give me the under 47.5.
I love it, kid. No play here. I lean Texas at home. I think this is a good bounce back spot. I think CJ Stroud will be able to put up some points. And Denver on the road worries me a little bit. I do like the under, but I just think Texas is the right side. If the money line was a little better, I probably would just take the money line, but 3.5. Yeah, I don't want to lay the hook. It could end a 3-point game like we saw last week. So just going to stay away from this game. I do hope Texas does win because I have a ticket that they make the playoffs. So hopefully they continue to win there. No play officially for me. Let's go to New Orleans, down by the Bayou. New Orleans Saints hosting the Detroit Lions. Lions laying 4.5 on the road. Plus 168 for Derek Carr and the Saints. Over under is at 47. Hey, Lions need to win bad here. Do they get it?
Yo, give me the Detroit Lions minus the 4 on the road. I understand Superdome or the Little Caesars, whatever it's called now. It's a tough place to play at, Dill, but I think Detroit is due for a bounce back. We saw them. Didn't look good in Thanksgiving. Dill, New Orleans, to be honest, after last week, I lost complete faith in them. They had a good game. Tyrann Mathieu had a couple interceptions, and they still found a way to lose to Atlanta. I'm over this New Orleans team. I think with Detroit, they got to just bounce back. The defense is the only thing that's concerning to me as of late. They've been a bottom 10 defense these past 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I want to see that defense that they was in the first 6, 7 weeks of the season when you was like, wow, the Lions look fucking amazing. That's when the defense was playing at a high level. Hopefully they could do that in New Orleans. If they could go out there and win, I'm not saying they need to blow them out, but just a dominating win, Dill, like a 27-14 game, 27-7, just a solid road win, Dill, that will be impressive to me with the Lions. So give me the Lions -4. I expect them to take care of business.
Yeah, I was leaning towards another rush attempt prop. I was leaning towards David Montgomery. I think he could have a big game here against the Saints. I was even leaning his rushing yards, but his rush attempts at 13.5. He's gone over this in 5 of his last 7 games. And I just see, like we mentioned, I think I mention this every time we talk about New Orleans. They just struggle to move the ball. I think this defense is going to have a nice back game. Carr, he's really bad versus pressure, and Detroit applies the 6th most highest pressure rate in the NFL, and they're excellent against running backs and the pass game. So Detroit, we know what they want to do. They want to run the ball and set up the play action down the field. New Orleans, they're 22nd in the league DVOA versus the run. So I expect big game from both running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery. So yeah, lock me in. I'll take David Montgomery. I didn't get to the window, but now I'm talking myself into it. I do think David Montgomery gets 14 carries. So over 13.5 rush attempts for David Montgomery. A little chalky at -125, but
I also lean 2 player props in this game, though. I didn't go to the window, but David Montgomery anytime touchdown at minus, I think, 140 or 150. A little chalky. Got in last week. I expect to get in this week again as well. And then Dill, Jahmyr Gibbs over 28.5 receiving yards. I feel like the number is a little too low. I understand David Montgomery back, so he's gonna get most of the running back RB1 possessions still, but I still think Jahmyr Gibbs is a threat coming off the backfield. I think he could get a couple balls, probably like 5-6 targets, and he goes over the number. So if anything, check the action tomorrow. I might go with the over, but as of right now, I'm just leaning it.
All right, let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Kind of a pick 'em right now. Indianapolis short favorites on the road, -1.5, -120 on the money line, +102 for Vrabel and the boys. Over-unders at 42.5. Tough one to decide to come down on. Who you got, kid?
Still, I ended up staying away from the game, Dill, but honestly, I think Tennessee takes care of business at home. I just feel like the Colts, they always get these tough wins. They're 6-5. I just feel like, Gardner Minshew mania has been playing at a high level. I just feel like in Tennessee is going to be a tough place to play at. The weather might be shitty. Derrick Henry might have another game. 2 touchdowns last week. I lean him again anytime touchdown. I'll lean Tennessee on the money line, Dill, but I ended up staying away just because the Colts are a solid team. It's just which version of Gardner Minshew we're gonna get,
I'm gonna go another player prop. Give me Josh Downs over 4.5 catches. Going back to reliable, he had 5 catches, 43 yards. He's been over this last 5 of his 7 games. And just look at the targets: 13 targets, 9 targets, 6 targets, 8 targets, 6. He had 12 against Baltimore, 7 against Jacksonville. He gets targeted a lot. He's in the slot. He gets open. I think Tennessee is not the best against slot receivers as well. I do think Tennessee is live. These are the kind of games that they win at home, underdogs. But I think Josh Downs could have 5 catches again. So I'm going to go over 4.5 catches for reliable Josh Downs. Oh, let's go to my favorite game. The New York Jets hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Money has come in on the Jets. I don't know why. Falcons laying 1.5 on the road, -142 on the money line, +120 for Tim Boyle and the New York Jets. Over under is at 33.5. I do want to say something real quick. For anyone that thinks Tim Boyle is better than Zach Wilson, they don't know football. I'm sorry. No, Zach Wilson's better than Tim Boyle. So it's just the name. the name, it's like, Zach Wilson. You know what I mean? And I think it scares people. But I mean, I have no play. This is a win-win for me. I was telling Elvis earlier in the week, like if the Jets win, cool. The Jets win, they're my favorite team. But the Falcons win, they're my NFC team. They're sneaking into the playoffs. I told you it was all starting to win the division last week. They beat the Saints. Now they're going on the road. They're going to beat the Jets. So it's a win-win for me. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the game. And I just hope no one fucking gets hurt on the MetLife field. But should be a good game. I think what worries me taking Atlanta, I think, which is why a lot of people are backing the Jets, is I think it might be a bad game for Desmond Ridder. I think our defense is good enough to force Desmond Ridder to throw an interception or two
or
and
three.
make that or three. I think we're going to stop Bijan Robinson or contain him a little bit. And I just don't trust that offense. And I think that if the defense scores a touchdown or two, I think we're live in this game. But other than that, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the game.
Dill, to be honest, this is a tough one to pick, to be real. I'll lean the under 33.5. I don't see either offense going too crazy. Like, unless the defense get a scooping score or pick six by the Jets, I don't see Atlanta putting up. Dill, if Atlanta scores more than 16, I'm going to get 17 points. Yeah, I'm going to be real. Yeah, there's no reason Atlanta should go into
Atlanta
MetLife.
scores 10 points, we lose the game.
No, y'all lose it regardless. But I'm saying if Atlanta scores 17 points or more, that's just bad, to be honest. I gotta go the under, Dill. To be honest, I don't see the Jets putting up like the Patriots, Dill. It's not to pick on you. I don't see us putting up 10 points. I don't see the Jets putting up 10 points tomorrow, Dill. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Unless the defense gets a touchdown, I don't see offensively y'all scoring 10. You know, I see 3 field goals at best. You know, and then with Atlanta. I don't like Desmond Ridder, though. You like him more than I do. I don't think he's the guy, but he's definitely better than my boy Tyler Heineke. Bijan Robinson, he's a threat. Drake London, he's a threat. I just don't feel like Desmond Ridder's going to be in position for them to hurt you. You know, so we saw Buffalo with a couple big plays. You know, when they played y'all, I highly doubt Atlanta be able to duplicate that, though. I'm going to lean the under. I mean, honestly, I might take I'm going official under, people. I'm going to give you a final score, 17-9. No, 16-9 Falcons.
Wow, what a score. Let's go to the last 1 o'clock game. We'll go out to Maryland. The Redskins hosting the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins laying 9.5 on the road, plus 350 for the Skins. Over under is at 49.5. I'll let you just know right now, Dolphins, they're in one of my teasers, but didn't want to lay the 9.5, even though I do think they'll win by double digits. It's just 9.5 is kind of crazy on the road, and it's the NFL. Anything can happen. Sam Howell, I do think they have their guy. I like him. I think he could throw up a lot of yards. He lets it a little too loose sometimes. I'll say that. He could get himself into trouble, but the confidence on his arm, he definitely has the arm talent. I just worry about the defense. Washington, they traded away their 2 best pass rushers. I just have a tough time thinking they're going to be able to stay in this game with an offensive like Miami Dolphins. So they're in one of my teasers, but yeah, I got to stay away from the game.
Still, same. I ended up putting Miami in one of my teasers. Still, I just feel like in this matchup, you know, they could possibly not slip up, but not blow them out. I'm not gonna lay the 9.5. I do think they win by touchdown or more. And then with Washington, though, I do agree with you. Sam Howell impressed me this season. Him and Eric Bieniemy definitely have something going. It's just that defense. It's atrocious. You got Tyreek Hill. His over-under's at 100. Is that 100?
Higher?
To be honest, I'll lean the over 100.5 yards, people. We know he's on track for the 2K. Definitely wants to break the all-time record. And what we saw all season long, Dill, this secondary allowed 100 pass catches throughout the whole season. AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, the list goes on. So I lean Tyreek over 100.5, and I ended up putting Miami Dolphins in a 2-way teaser.
All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock slate. Not as good, but we do have the game of the week. We'll start in Tampa Bay, though. Buccaneers hosting the Carolina Panthers. Bucks laying 5.5 at home, plus 205 for Bryce Young and Carolina. Over-under is at 36.5. They fired Frank Wright. Usually when we see a fire, the boys get going and they kind of rally around the team. I really wanted to take the Panthers. I'm not going to lie. If it got to like 6.5, because I don't think Tampa Bay is 6-point favorites against anyone, like not even Carolina, if I'm being honest. So if it gets to 6.5, I might take Carolina. I just don't trust Baker Mayfield and this offense. They're very inconsistent for my liking. I stayed away officially at 5.5, but if money continues to come in on Tampa, I'm going to take Carolina.
Yo, to be honest, I'm surprised you didn't go Mike Evans over, Dill. You've been cashing in all season long, Dill. I'm gonna be honest, that's my lean. Mike Evans over. He had 2 touchdowns last week. Didn't have a ton of yards, but throughout the season, him and Baker Mayfield do have a connection. They are at home, Dill. I expect Mike Evans to get a few balls to go over 65.5 yards. Might put it in my action tomorrow, but Dill, that's the only thing I have in this game. I do agree with you though. Firing Frank Wright, this team might come out, fire up, and play and show like, yo, this dude was holding us back. He didn't let us have fun. He didn't let us do this. He didn't let us do that. But to show him what type of team we could be without him. So I do expect Carolina to come out different. It's just, what do I expect? I'm not sure about that, Dill. But we definitely going to see a different team tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go out to SoFi. The Rams try to make this playoff push. They are 3.5-point favorites at home against Joe Flacco and the Browns.
Joe Flacco, QB1, people.
I love it.
Borderline Hall of Famer.
Talk to people in Baltimore. They say, hey, he won us a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Over under 40.5. I mean, shout out Joe Flacco. Healthy legs. He has an arm. He could sling it. Probably throw an interception or two, but I don't know, man. I really wanted to take the Browns. I'm not gonna lie, but
wow.
I just think Matt Stafford and this team. You saw the connection he has with the receivers Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua. Hopefully Cooper Kupp is back and a little healthier. I just think offensively, I think they're gonna give this, and this is a really good defense, but they are banged up with injuries right now. They're on their 4th or 5th starter quarterback, and they still have a positive records. Speaks volumes, I think, with just the way this team's coached, the way this team's handling all the injuries. Should be a good game, but I am leaning with the Rams here. No official play, though.
Yo, that's my two-way 6-point teaser. Miami Dolphins down to 3.5, and I caught it early. The Rams to +2.5. They're -4 right now, so you could get to the +2. I wish I would have called it earlier and got the +3, 3.5. That would have been fucking lovely. But Dill, I agree with you. I think the Rams are the right side. I like Joe Flacco. This was 2012, Dill, but it ain't 2012. I expect a low-scoring game, and I just expect Matt Stafford just to be the best quarterback on the field, make a couple plays with his arm, maybe a no-look here or there to set his team up for win, Dill. I understand this defense is going to show out. They're going to show up and show out, Dill. It's just, can Matthew Stafford in that offense put enough plays together to win the game, Dill? We know Aaron Donald's going to get after Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's going to get sacked at least 4 times, 5 times tomorrow, Dill. I just hope he gets up every time. Give me the Rams on the two-way teaser, +2.5, and then the Dolphins -3.5.
All right, let's go to the game of the week at the Lincoln Financial Center in Philadelphia. The Eagles are hosting the 49ers. 49ers road favorites -3, -152 on the money line. The 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles are underdogs at home, +128 on the money line. Over-unders at 47.5. Should be a rainy game in Philadelphia, kind of like the under, but Elvis, I'll start it off. I was able to get the 49ers -2.5. I'm going to lay it with them on the road. I just think they're the better team, right? I think they're playing better. I trust their defense more. And I think Kyle Shanahan's a better coach than Nick Sirianni. And I think he's going to be able to dice some plays up against that defense, who is very vulnerable in the middle of the field. Up front, they have a great front. But in the middle of the field is where they're susceptible. You saw Dallas carve them up for 30-something points. So I do think this offense, now that they're healthy, Debo back, Trent Williams back, I just think this team is better right now. Give me the San Francisco 49ers -2.5.
Dale, I couldn't agree more, Dale. Give me the 49ers on the money line at -148. A little chalky. I understand people, but I'm just playing it safe. If anything, do the two-way teaser. San Francisco money line with Debo Samuel. That's my official play as well. Debo Samuel over 50.5 receiving yards, minus 112. Still, this number is too low. And to be honest, like you said, that's why I couldn't agree more. The middle of the field is open. And who's going to exploit that? George Kittle and Debo Samuel. And a little bit of Brandon Ayuk as well. But I expect Debo Samuel to have another monster game. We saw him cook on Thanksgiving. I think he goes out there and has another huge game. I think he does with his through the passing game and his legs as well. I just feel like right now the 49ers just have something going. I understand the Eagles are 10-1, but people, the Eagles have 3-4 straight games where they were down at half. They needed Hercules efforts from Jalen Hurts. I'm not taking away anything from Jalen Hurts. He's having a great year. It's just how many times does he has to, fight back himself and lead this team to win? That defense make plays when they have to, but their defense is not what's keeping them in these games. It's Jalen Hurts in that offense, and that's what's concerning. I feel like 49ers defense is playing at a higher level right now, and I just feel like offensively they're both, even skill. So, still, I'm going to go with the 49ers on the road in a tough one and give me Debo Samuel over 50.5 receiving yards. I just feel like Philadelphia is due for a loss. They snuck out 3-4 straight these past few weeks. I think they're due for one here.
Regression is coming, and you can see it. Defensively, they have been struggling. So now they're running into arguably
the best team besides them.
Besides them, the most evenly matched team, I would say. And now I think they just caught up, and now they're catching the 49ers when healthy. I think if they caught them a few weeks back when they were hurt, obviously the Eagles would be favorite. But Vegas is telling you something. On the road, they still made the 49ers the favorite.
And at first they were -3.
Yeah, that's
so that means if this game was in San Francisco, that was a 5.5, 6-point spread, people.
Which I don't know if I agree with. I want to see it tomorrow, but the line is telling you something. So we're sharps. I don't care. We're going with the 49ers here. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs going up to Lambeau Field to take on Jordan Love and the Packers. Chiefs laying 6 on the road, plus 210 for the Packers as home dogs. Over under is at 42.5. So I did a 3-way 6-point teaser. I took the Miami Dolphins down to 3.5. I took the Steelers down to 0.5, and I took the Chiefs down to 0, plus 160. I like that 3-way teaser. I just didn't want to lay 6 points with the Chiefs on the road. I know their offense is getting their rhythm back together. That defense, I think they're going to be able to cause some fits for the Packers, even though offensively, last couple games, last 3 to 4 weeks, last month in November, Packers have been playing better football. I can't deny it. But I just think this Chiefs offense is much better. I think the defense is going to cause some fits for Jordan Love and the Packers. So going to play it safe. I'm going to tease them down to a pick 'em. I do think they win. I don't know if they cover, but I just need an outright win from them. So I'm going to tease them down to 0, tease the Steelers down to basically just to win, and the Miami Dolphins to win by 4, plus 160 is my 3-way teaser.
Dill, I like it, Dill. Nothing wrong with it. Playing it safe, people. But I'm going to lay the 6, Dill. I like the Kansas City Chiefs in this spot. Last week, they showed me something, Dill. The fact that they were down 14 on the road against, I understand it's just the Raiders, though, but we know Antonio Pierce has been a different squad. And then basically go on a 31-7 run to end the game, Dill. That's just amazing, in my opinion. I feel like the Chiefs' defense, like you said, with Steve Spagnuolo, that's a DC deal, and the way that defense is playing, I don't expect that defense just to cause fits. I expect Jordan Love to have one of the worst days of his career so far, Dill, to be honest. I expect Steve Spagnuolo to blitz at least at 60% of the time. Dill, we know Steve Spagnuolo he loves to blitz. He's going to play man, and he's going to force Jordan Love to beat you one-on-one. He might double coverage Christian Watson, Dill, but that's what we're going to see, and I expect that defense to come out, show out. Chris Jones, Bolton, everybody, Dill. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs -6 on the road. I just feel like Steve Spagnuolo is going to dice them up.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's have another great Sunday. Let's have 2 winning weeks in a row. We started it off strong, both going 2-0 in the Seattle-Dallas game. Let's finish it off strong tomorrow. Elvis, good luck. Let's go transition into the NBA. Big slate. We got 12 games on the board for today. Yesterday, big win for the Knicks. They go on the road and beat the Toronto Raptors. Memphis, they get another win against a good Dallas team. Orlando just continues to win. Denver, Joker, I mean, he's the best player in the league again. He's ridiculous, I think. They beat the Suns. Philly, they wind up losing on the road to the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum actually got ejected, which I thought was kind of bullshit. But any takeaways from yesterday before we get into today?
Nah, Dill. The only thing that sucks about yesterday, Dill, I could have went 3-0, but I went 2-0 with a push. I took Philly plus the 6. That sucks, but I took your Knicks plus the 2, and I took Denver on the money line, Dill. So we had a great day. I wish I would have just went 3-0. That's all.
All right, and today we got some pretty good games. Boston going on a back-to-back against Indiana, Houston and LA, Denver, Sacramento. What else? We got OKC, Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some pretty good games. Orlando, Brooklyn, and Brooklyn. That should be a good game.
And we're favored. I wonder why. I don't know why.
Fun stat: the Texas Rangers have more wins in November than the Detroit
Pistons got 0.
Yeah.
They won. I saw a thing with it. It was like these dudes really won No Nut November. They haven't got one win.
Yeah. That's great. I think we got to continue to fade them here. I know they're 9-point underdogs at home, but what do you got here for this slate today?
Dill, let's just start it off, Dill. 4 o'clock start. Love the fact that this game's starting at 4 o'clock. 1 o'clock for you West Coast people. Golden State Warriors taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. Dill, give me Golden State Warriors plus 5.5 on the road against the Clippers. As of right now, they're at plus 5. So if anything, shop around, people. I think Golden State are live dogs as well on the road. I just feel like they're a little better team. Steph Curry, Draymond is on the floor. Klay Thompson, we saw that post-game interview. He got a ball up too. So I think the Golden State goes in the Clippers, lose close. If not, they sneak out the victory, Dill. 5 o'clock start. Love the fact that these afternoon games, Dill. Minnesota taking on the Charlotte Hornets, Dill. Minnesota been one of the best teams in the league so far, surprisingly. Dill, give me the Minnesota Timberwolves minus 5.5, minus 6 on the road, wherever you find it at, people. I got the 6, but right now I'm seeing minus 5.5. Charlotte's just not a good team, and with LaMelo Ball being out, they might just get blown out. Though this is not the same team without LaMelo. And then 8 o'clock start. New Orleans Pelicans taking on Chicago Bulls. Pelicans are minus 3 on the road there, and that's what I'm gonna do. Give me the Pelicans minus 3. The Chicago Bulls team is done, and it's only the first month and a half of the season. Though they're already talking about trading Caruso, Levine, DeRozan. This team's done. I'm over with them. Give me the Pelicans on the road minus 3. Still, like you said, Dallas played last night, so I'm going to go with the Young Bulls. Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Dallas Mavericks, 3.5-point favorites on the road, and that's what I'm going to take, Dill. I took the minus 4 early. Shop around, people, see if you get the minus 3.5. I like OKC on the road. The Young Bulls are just playing at a high level. Chet Holmgren making the case he should be the rookie of the year, and I love it. Like the fact that Kyrie and Luka have been playing well together. I just feel like on a back-to-back, the Young Bulls take care of business. And the last game of the night, 10 o'clock start, Denver Nuggets taking on Sacramento Kings. Dill, give me the Denver Nuggets on the road, plus 4.5, plus 5, whatever you find the people. I just feel like Denver's just a better team. I understand they're on the road. Let me check the lineups. Make sure nothing switched so far. 1 sec. You still got Jamal Murray, Porter, Gordon, Jokic, KCP in the starting lineup, Dill. I'm surprised they're underdogs. Give me the Denver Nuggets plus 4.5 on the road. And I'll be honest, you got to sprinkle something on the money line as well. At plus, where is it at? Plus 160? I think it's worth something on it.
Yeah, going back to the Dallas and OKC game, I have one player prop that kind of caught my eye while you were talking. Chet Holmgren's points are at 17.5.
You're giving them 20.
I think this is a great spot for Chet. Dallas, like I said, they're on a back-to-back. Dallas, bottom 10 defense, but they're a top 10 pace. So I think it's a good spot for him. Dallas, second worst rebounding rate. So when he gets some rebounds, probably an extra putback or two. And he's averaging 17.9 points this season, but he just exploded with 2 30-point performances in his last 5-6 games. So I think 17.5 points is a little low. I'm going to go over that for Chet Holmgren. Is that it, kid? Anything else in the NBA?
Nah, Dale, that's it. If anything, I could go over some plays for tomorrow, if anything, but I'm not sure if lines are out. Let me see. I could just give you a quick rundown for tomorrow. It's not even games tomorrow. That's crazy. No games tomorrow. We'll be back Sunday.
Monday.
Tomorrow's show, Dale. Only 2 games on Monday slate. So if anything, I'll give you plays for Monday and Tuesday tomorrow night.
All right, let's go over to college real quick. Got over 100 games. If I'm being honest, I don't know the exact amount of games. I think it's like
32.
No, 92. Close.
Oh,
90.
I thought you were talking about games you
play. Oh no, I only have 8 plays. I kind of died it down a little bit. I'll just rattle them off for you. We'll start 1:00. Give me Kennesaw State. Shout out Georgia. -2 against Georgia State. Little in-state rivalry. I think Kennesaw State is a much better team. So getting a short number here at home. I'll lay it with them. Give me Mississippi Ole Miss +2.5 at home against Memphis. I think they should be the favorite in this spot. Give me Ball State plus on the money line -128 against Belmore. Give me Oregon, the Ducks, -1.5 against the team up north. I think they should be closer to a 4 or 5 point favorite. Give me North Carolina State. It's kind of a pick 'em, but they're on the road taking on Boston College. I took them on the money line +100. We'll go Ivy League. Give me Harvard +4.5 against Loyola Chicago. I am not a Sister Jean fan. We're going to fade her. Give me Harvard +4.5. Give me West Carolina on the money line against Weber State, -104. And then the last play, give me Santa Clara on the money line +100 against California. I think they should be like a 3-4 point favorite. They're underdogs. I get that they're on the road, but Santa Clara is a much better team. So hopefully they win outright. Elvis, anything else or anything I didn't touch before we get up out of here, kid?
That's it, man. Let's just have another
Any birthdays this weekend?
No birthdays this weekend. Hopefully, we just take care of business, have a good weekend, have a productive weekend. Though. Let's enjoy some football.
Let's go. Enjoy some football. Enjoy conference championship weekend. We got some fights. We got some fights this weekend as well. So make sure you guys put on some fights. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll recap all the games. We'll give you our best bets for Monday Night Football as well. So make sure you guys follow our social media, X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, leave a comment on who you're betting on this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend, everyone have a great day. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.